everyone, so this is a nail art tutorial on this look here. This look is inspired by the Great Gatsby, so it kind of has that 1920s Gatsby feel. It's essentially using gold and black and a series of stripes just to create these different patterns to get that whole Gatsby look. If you'd like to see how I created this look, please keep watching. So what you're going to need to create this look is some painter's tape. Any tape that you use for nail art that doesn't pull up the polish is fine, but I just use this Scotch 3M painter's tape. If you have striping tape, like nail art striping tape, it's even better, but I don't, so I just use this, and I use some scissors to cut it to the length and width that I require. To peel off the tape, tweezers definitely come in handy, so if you have a pair of tweezers, just grab those as well. You're going to need a top coat to finish off the look because it definitely gives it a more polished, shiny finish and it just smooths everything out. You'll need a black. I've chosen Sally Hansen Extreme Wear in Blackout. And you'll need a gold for the base. Now I've chosen Luxe from Orly, but there are quite a few golds out there. So as some alternatives, you could use Goldeneye from OPI. This has a richer, deeper, more bronzy gold shade than Luxe, but I think that would definitely still work very well with this look. You also have Gold Coin from Revlon, which is quite similar to the Orly shade. And you have Golden Eye from Sally Hansen, which is also Extreme Wear, which again is very similar to the Orly colour but a little bit more yellow. So the first step is to apply your base colour. In this case I'm using gold and this is Luxe by Orly. You want to make sure that the base colour is opaque. This took 2 coats to become opaque, but some, you may use 1, you may use 3. The important thing is to make sure that your base colour is completely dry, not just touch dry, but completely dry before you apply the tape because you don't want it pulling up your base colour. The next step is to get your tape or striper's tape and cut it to the length that you require. In this case, I take a length about this long, cut it off and then cut it into strips. Now I'm only going to be doing one nail for the tutorial, so I cut it into 4 thin strips. They really are quite thin, but they are quite easy to use as well. So the shape that I'm going for is kind of like a T shape. So I'm going to place the tape across the nail, just leaving a space of gold at the top. Keeping in mind that wherever the tape is, it's going to stay gold, and wherever the tape isn't, it's going to be black. Getting the next length of tape, I'm actually going to cut it in half. I'll be using half of it to again go across just underneath that last one and pushing that down. And then to create a T shape, I'm going to be placing that in the center and putting it down the middle like that. So far, that's the design. The next 2 stripes I'll also be cutting in half and then making sort of like a square or an L-shaped pattern underneath. So I'm going to be sticking it down underneath the last one, like so. Joining it up at the bottom and sticking that down as well, and then you just repeat that on the other side. Now you can do any types of shapes that you want. As some inspiration, I'll link a picture whilst I'm sticking down the rest of this tape, just to give you some other ideas about some other shapes that you might want to recreate. So as you can see, you've got many options. They are actually really quite easy to do because all it involves is cutting out the tape, sticking it down and painting over. So you can even do this quite well if you're a right-handed person. You can still do your right hand using your left hand and it still look quite crisp because of the tape. Makes it a lot easier to do. You don't have to worry about nail stripers or anything like that. So it gives a really nice finish. Now to come back to these nails that I've already done, just to give you some more ideas, as you can see, this is the look that I'm going for with the tape. This is what it's going to look like. So you've got one stripe across the top, one underneath that in the shape of a T, and then 2 stripes on either side in a right angle shape there. Some other shapes I've done is something a little bit similar, where you've got the T shape, but you've just got one across, halfway across, and then another one intersecting it. Something a little bit more simple. It's just this sort of zigzaggy shape. You can also do V's with lines intersecting it, or something like this. This is actually really simple to do. You just need a stripe across the bottom, another stripe slightly above that towards the center of the nail, and then 3 stripes coming out of that center stripe. So the next step, once you've got all your tape down, make sure it's pushed down very well and that there is a free edge somewhere that you're going to be able to grab with the tweezers to pull it off. Once it's all stuck down and you're comfortable that it's not going to be loose or there's no little air bubbles underneath, get your black. Now with the black, the trick is you want a really thick, opaque coat, but you only want to coat it once. So that's why I really like the Sally Hansen Blackout, because you don't need more than one coat. So starting from the side, really gently kind of dab it instead of dragging it along, and then you just kind of smooth it over at the end before it dries. Now I've just got another piece of tape here that I'm going to stick down so I can stick the scrappy bits on it when I pull them off. So the next step is the fun part, and it's to pull off the tape. Some people prefer to wait until the top coat is dry. I prefer to pull it off when it's wet. I personally haven't had any bad experiences with this, but it's just, you know, personal preference. So pulling across the top like that, and just sticking it down out of the way. The next one, which was the T shape, the one coming from the center actually overlaps the top of the one going horizontal across the nail. So you want to make sure that you pull the ones that overlap across the top off first, so you get a neat line. Once all the tape's off, your design is revealed. So that's the outcome there. That's what it looks like. So once that's dry, you apply a generous, thick amount of top coat. Only apply one coat and try not to stripe too often, otherwise that is going to smudge the top colour and make it bleed into the bottom base lighter colour. So apply it quick, thick, and a limited number of stripes. So that's the finished look there. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. As you can see, it is really, really easy. Doesn't require much skill, but it does require some patience. So if you enjoy doing your nails and you want to have something a little bit different, a little bit funky, and definitely in trend at the moment for a Gatsby kind of nail look, give it a try. There's many designs, as you could tell from the pictures, many options you could use, and just go with it. Whatever you feel, whatever you think looks good. So that is the finished look there. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. If you did like the tutorial, give it a thumbs up, and yeah, let me know what you think. I'll see you all in my next video.